3 days ago, the reigning Peach Belt Conference champion Jaguars traveled to Dahlonega, where they kept their ascent towards the top spot in the Peach Belt Conference standings moving in the positive direction. This afternoon, the Jaguars will battle a high-scoring Young Harris team in what should be a shoot-'em-up Western, if you've ever seen one. Welcome once again to the Kristen Berry Fieldhouse. We're on the campus of Augusta University. It's Homecoming 2020. I'm the Mac Daddy of Sports, Charles McNeil, with a pride-filled AU alum, Chad Cook. And Chad, you traveled with the Jaguars up to North Georgia. Give us a breakdown of that one.
Well, it's great to see. Augusta took a 38-23 lead with 4 minutes to go in the first half, and North Georgia went on a big run, tied the game at 39. Augusta led 41-39 at halftime, and I watched Dip Mitras gather the guys together right before the beginning of the second half. He had them in a circle, and he was adamant, but he wasn't angry. He was imploring them, if we're going to be conference champions, let's go out and play like conference champions. And that's what they did. Over the next 7 minutes and 20 seconds, Augusta outscored North Georgia 27-4. They shot 58% from the three that game, 56% from the field. They held a team to less than 70 points for the fourth time in the last 7 games during this winning streak. They're playing at a high level. Today, homecoming, full crowd. I expect to see it continue.
Yeah, we certainly hope that will be the case. And now it's time for Dip Mitras' keys to victory.
Yeah, defend the three-point line. The last time Young Harris played against Augusta, they shot almost 2/3 of their shot from behind the three-point line. It's what this team does. If they get hot from deep, watch out. So Augusta will be concentrating on not letting that happen today. Defend home court. Augusta's 9-2 at home this year and 7-0 at home in conference play. With 3 home games remaining to close the season, Dip Mitras wants to finish this thing 10-0. Today's the first step in starting to make that happen. And then defending Young Harris's head of the snake, Brian Harper. Brian Harper's a small point guard who is, I think he's number 2 in the nation in assists. He can really put together a good game distributing the ball, and Augusta will be concentrated on making sure he's not able to do that here today.
Yeah, Brian Harper led all of Division II in assists with 8.7 per game and total assists with 252. So far in the 2019-2020 season, he has 207 assists, so he's on pace, Chad, to possibly eclipse that number that he had his inaugural year.
207 points in a season would be good.
Yeah.
207 assists is incredible.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, it's the tip-off of this one. It's Augusta taking on Young Harris, the Jaguars, and the Mountain Lions. It's Homecoming 2020 on SUV TV.
You are anything but ordinary. You have your own path and your own potential to realize. At Augusta University, the advantages created by our diversity in thought, culture, and collaboration give you and us infinite opportunity. Together, we're changing our community, our campus, and our world. We are boundless. We are Augusta University.
And welcome back inside the Christenberry Fieldhouse. Exciting basketball action set to come your way. The Peach Belt Conference standings. Pembroke atop the standings with a 14-3 mark. Augusta 13-4, tied in second place with USC Aiken. Our arch rivals will see them on Wednesday right here inside the Christenberry Fieldhouse. Lander University 12-5. Columbus State at 10-7. North Georgia 8-9, as is Georgia College. Flagler at 7-10. Georgia Southwestern 5-12, tied with our opponents here this afternoon, Young Harris. It's time for our starting lineups. Presented by AUG B-Ball. And for the Augusta Jaguars, Tyree Myers, the solid point guard out of the Baltimore region, takes care of business. Looking forward to seeing what he can do here this afternoon. Miguel Arnold, another wonderful shooter, and Chad Troy Cracknell has been playing as well as anybody on the Jaguars over the last stretch.
He sure has. In fact, he scored 29 points in the first win over Young Harris. Everything the team needs from him, he seems to deliver. We saw it last Saturday against UNC Pembroke, getting it done on the offensive glass. Great junior leader for the Jags.
And then to complete the five, you see Miguel Arnold being mentioned. Miguel Arnold, the sophomore, 5'11", 207-pounder from San Juan, Puerto Rico, South Miami High School. And the big man in the middle, he's ready for action. All 7'1", 290 pounds of him. We're talking about Tyshawn Crawford, and he has the fans, many of which have played for the Jaguars program in the past. You talk with several of them, just in awe of his potential.
Yeah, he's the talk of the town. You know, he's going to be here for 3 years. I think the buzz about Tyshawn Crawford will continue to grow and grow. He's been dominant, averaging over 15 points and 10 rebounds in conference play.
The Mountain Lions come in averaging 87 points a game, but they yield 89 to their opponents. They're shooting at 30% from the field, 37% from long range, 70% from the line. They pull down 37 rebounds, assists on 17 made baskets, grab 8 steals, and block 2 shots a game. This team, although their record might not indicate it, they get up and down the floor, and it's a credit to Jeremy Carrier in his second season, introduced a new up-tempo offense since his arrival, and last season the Mountain Lions finished in the top 15 nationally for scoring offense, 3-pointers made, and 6 other statistical categories throughout the year. We're ready to jump tip. It's homecoming 2020, so let's get it underway. And its tip is up and controlled by the white-cladded Jaguars of Augusta. Tyree Myers has the ball. On the left side, he goes to Miguel Arnold. Tyshawn Crawford posting up inside. His defender giving up a lot of inches in close. Christian Collins will be no match against Tyshawn Crawford, who goes in with 2 hands. So Crawford denting the scoring column in large fashion on that opening salvo, and Augusta with a 2-0 lead.
Augusta's players are getting very good at throwing the ball over the top of that fronting defender, and Crawford's done a great job of catching those passes like he did on the first play there.
Pull-up jump shot, rattled off, no good. And Augusta with the rebound. That shot attempt up by number 3. That's Ryle Owens. 3-point attempt by Myers, no good. A loose ball goes into the corner.
He didn't make the shot, but I like seeing Tyree Myers looking to be offensively minded, coming off that screen and roll, shooting that 3. We saw him get going offensively last week against UNC Pembroke with 18 points.
Brian Free has it stolen, and Myers in with the left hand. So Myers with 2, and Crawford with 2 for the 4 on the board for Augusta as they get out to a quick start. Top Top of the circle, 3 ball put up there, no good by Christian Collins. They work it down low. The big guy can't get it to drop. Back the other way, and there's a steal. Myers ahead of the field, driving in with the right hand. He lays it up. You'll count that basket. It went through anyway.
So 2 baskets already by Tyree Myers, created from steals on the defensive end. He's doing that more and more. Seems like he gets one of those every game. Today he's already had 2 in the first minutes of the game. Did that against North Georgia as well in the opening minutes of the second half Wednesday.
It's time for the second installment of a new segment we call Chad's Cooker. Chad, who do you expect to bake, roll, broil, grill, fry, or otherwise cook their opponent? Young Harris here this afternoon.
I'm looking for Miguel Arnold to have a big game. The last time we saw the gym this full was when Emmanuel came in here for Education Day, and he put on a show offensively. I think he'll be inspired by the crowd and really get it going from deep.
Archie with his first field goal. Corey Archie, 6'5" junior from Jacksonville. They try to get the ball into Crawford, tipped over into the hands of Myers. Now they get it down low to him. Big guy, barreling in and scores.
Great control by Tyshawn Crawford. Instead of lowering his shoulder and bowling over the defender, he just gently pushed him back once, twice, enough to get to the rim and finish over the top.
There's another steal for Augusta, and here's your guy, Miguel Arnold. Stepping right into one, Miguel, short on the long-range shot. Rebound, and here comes Young Harris back the other way. Their point guard is Brian Harper. And a jump hook in the paint, scored by Jonathan King. Second field goal of the ball game. Young man from Ellenwood, Georgia. Attended Cleveland State Community College before transferring in, 6'5", 215. The lead has been cut to half, 8-4 as they get it down low. And Rafael Montero won't find an easier basket than that one. 6'4" senior out of Sao Paulo, Brazil, Rafael Montero, the leading scorer for the Jaguars, on the board, and the lead is back up to 6.
What a great game Rafael had Wednesday against North Georgia.
Nice drive and a finish at the rim. That's King. Talk about end-to-end play we expected to hear. Coach Demetrius not employing that 6-point defensive rule. He'd have a lot of substitutions if he did. Cracknell from deep, and he gets fouled, I think, in the act.
Yeah. And we see Young Harris playing this 2-3 zone, and that's what they played against Augusta in the first game, the first matchup. And you see Troy Cracknell here. Cracknell made 6 threes in that game, scored 29 points, really busted the zone on a consistent basis, and he was the reason for the win that day.
Yeah, the final score of that game, 83-78. Augusta fell behind 42-38 at the break and then exploded with 45 points in the second half and held Young Harris to just 36 in the second stanza.
Here we see Tyree Myers doing a good job. A little pass fake, gets Jonathan King to go out to the wing, leaving Rafael Montero all alone. Here's that opening play of the game where they just throw it up where only Crawford can get it. He does a good job of composing himself, does damage to the rim.
I don't think anybody wanted to be a part of his highlight.
Here we're going to see where he refrains from making too much contact on these first couple bumps. Thought he was going to dunk that one.
But in that first game, 83-78 up at Young Harris on January the 11th, Troy Cracknell with a season-high 29 points, but Rafael Montero with 18 points on 7 of 11 shooting. Tyshawn Crawford had 13 points and 13 boards. Tyree Myers with 11 points, so 4 players in double figures in that one for Augusta, and they'll need that today in order to pull out the victory. Cracknell at the line. .74% free throw shooter.
Troy's playing with so much confidence at this time of the year. Really can't say enough about his performance last Saturday against UNC Pembroke. Didn't make a three-point shot, but still scored 15 points, had 4 buckets off second chance, offensive rebounds, played great defense, really all over the place.
The coach's delight.
Here we see the first possession of zone defense from Augusta. They used this effectively against Young Harris in the first matchup.
And there's a big rejection. Crawford protecting the paint. Shot clock down to 5. On the perimeter, it's Harper, and he buries it. He's the superstar of the bunch. And a guy you got to keep a close eye on because he will knock him down. Arnold. Halfway down, it pops out. There is Crawford.
Tyshawn showed a couple things there. First, good hands to pull down the offensive rebound, but second, power because he took a shot on the way up, still converted with 2 hands high above the rim.
Now Myers, dribble penetration, ball kicked out there and it's stolen away. And here comes Harper, looking for somebody, finds a man on the wing for 3. Halfway down, it pops out, comes in the hands of Tyshawn. Big man running the floor, you want to reward him. He was open, they didn't see him, now they'll get it down to him. They turn and go with the reversal to Cracknell for 3. Line drive shot, no good, and rebounded, pulled out of there by the Mountain Lions. Another 3 ball from the corner, rattles off, no good. Loose ball foul inside. That'll go against Collins.
Augusta goes to that zone. It's kind of counterintuitive when you play zone against a team that wants to shoot three-pointers, but what it does for Augusta is it keeps Tyshawn Crawford near the basket, and it puts perimeter players out on the perimeter guarding that three-point shot. You've seen a couple misses by Young Harris, and Tyshawn Crawford come away with the rebound. So the zone worked its magic there in a couple plays for Augusta.
Robert Barloon now into the lineup. As Cracknell shot no good, Barloon kept it alive. Lucas White in the lineup for the Jaguars as well. Shot clock down to 12. Montero. Jump hook is perfect. Montero's second field goal, he's got 4. The Jaguar lead is 8, and there's a steal. Lucas White loses control of the basketball, working against Harper. The top thieves in the Peach Belt Conference. Now for the strong drive and the kick. Jumper in the air. Lucas White is too strong. Jonathan King now playing a 2-man game with Harper, who's working against Montero. Now on the wing, wide open 3 ball, and it's good. And that's Archie. Archie now at 5.
That's where you see the effectiveness of Brian Harper getting deep into the paint, drawing help, even though Augusta's mantra is to not help off of on Harper. Can't help it sometimes, and he created the open three-pointer there.
Harper pushing the issue into the left corner. Now he gets it back, tries to break down the defense. Lucas White takes him to school.
That was good defense by Darren Lucas White, just better offense by Harper. That's what Augusta wants to do, make him score one-on-one instead of helping off of him and letting him create for others.
Myers, three-pointer outside rather, and the inside play was a foul occurring on the loose ball, weak side rebound.
Here you see Tyree Myers not helping, Rafael Montero not helping. That's by design. If Harper's going to finish over the likes of Darren Lucas White consistently, that'll be something that Augusta wouldn't have anticipated. Here you see Rafael Montero. This is his first post touch. He gets it right after Tyshawn Crawford checks out, and he makes it count. They went to him again on the next play, drew a double team, went back out to Tyree Myers. Didn't end in a field goal for Augusta on that next play. But that's what you see with Augusta, you know, having the big 7-footer that draws so much attention. It does, in a way, at times limit the post touches for Rafael Montero, who's kind of a player of the year candidate in the conference, 18 points, 9 rebounds a game. But the moment Crawford goes to the bench, you'll see them force feed the ball into Montero, take advantage of those possessions where you don't have Crawford at your disposal, but you do have, like I said, a player of the year candidate in Montero out on the court. Coming out of the media timeout with a baseline out of bounds, I'm interested to see what Augusta runs here. It's a hallmark of good coaches getting their team in a good set, coming out of timeouts, taking advantage of the ability to draw something up.
Hot shooting on both sides, both teams shooting at 50% through the first and second media timeouts. As Augusta 7 of 14 before that launch by Montero, and Young Harris 6 of 12 from long range. 2 of 5 from Young Harris's shots from distance, and Augusta 0 for 6 in the onset from deep. And Harper in traffic knocking down the mid-range.
That's just another tough 2 over Darren Lucas White. Nothing wrong with the defense from Lucas White, just better offense 2 times in a row from Brian Harper.
Harper leading scorer in the ball game with 7. Tyshawn Crawford now takes over and asserts himself inside. He takes over the leading scoring honors in this ball game now with 8.
Good recognition by Darren Lucas White. You'll see him right here. Notice it, the left shoulder of Crawford's open. He throws it right to it. Easy 2 for Augusta.
So Tyshawn salivating as a strong drive and a finish by King for his 3rd field goal. He now has 6. 19-18 is our score. Augusta leading by 1. Homecoming 2020. Great crowd on hand as Crawford in traffic with 4 players surrounding him. I think a 5th was on the way, and you might need it against Tyshawn.
Coach Demetrius is talking about that last play with the official, wanting to know why Jonathan King wasn't called for a charge on that physical drive to the basket that left Rafael Montero sprawled across the paint on the floor.
Tyshawn Crawford on the season, shooting at 50.5%. He misses a pair here. There's Lucas White, known for his defensive ability, and he forces a steal.
Active hands by Lucas White. Actually stripped the ball twice on that play.
Miguel, wide open 3 ball. That's nothing but the bottom.
You know, with Young Harris playing this zone, it's just a matter of time before Miguel Arnold gets going, I think.
Up top for a rise and fire for Collins. Collins' his first field goal. Junior from Lawrenceville. Seth McCoy on the floor again. Packed in 2-3 zone working against Augusta. Miguel, another one, and you know, just like the other one. Miguel Arnold said, you already know. He jumps out on defense. And a nice strong drive by Christian Collins for his 2nd field goal. He's got 5.
That's 2 plays in a row where Collins scored against Tyshawn Crawford starting from the 3-point line. So it's a difficult guard for Tyshawn Crawford to do when it comes to guarding him all the way out at the 3-point line.
Miguel looking for 3 in a row. Chad's cooker.
Just a matter of time. You play Augusta zone, whether it be Miguel Arnold or Troy Cracknell, Tyree Myers, these guys can shoot it from deep. Augusta's leading the Peach Belt Conference in three-point shooting percentage. A guy like Miguel Arnold is the reason why.
Harper to McCoy. To Owens.
You see Augusta back in this zone so Tyshawn Crawford doesn't have to guard guys way out at the three-point line.
Shot clock down to 7. Pulling up from way downtown and run down there by Collins. Strong drive, and in the painted area, there's a whistle, and a foul will go against Montero.
Demetrius was so upset that Montero didn't get that charge call earlier. Now he's even more upset. Montero was set for a long time before that shot. The crowd can't believe it. Demetrius can't believe it. You see Raphael get his feet set and just wait.
Owens at the line. Owens knocks down the second. Cut the deficit to 4.
See if Young Harris stays in this zone, and if so, I would expect Tyree Myers to find Miguel Arnold after he's made 3 in a row, but Young Harris does go back to man here.
Montero, Lucas White on the 3 dribble, pull up. Rebound by Collins. Collins looks like he's struggling with a leg injury. He gets up and down the floor. Gets it at the free throw line, pulls up. And did everything but drop. Lucas White, Tyree. Miguel wants it. He's going to launch it, and he's got it.
I'm telling you, Miguel Arnold likes it when the fans turn out, and they've turned out today, and he's putting on a show for them.
Collins headed toward McCoy in the corner. There is a 3-ball attempt, and that one again touches everything but the bottom.
I think Tyshawn Crawford got a hand on it. Great closeout by the 7-footer deep in the right corner.
Miguel, they jump out on him quickly. Down low to Miguel, make that to Montero. Bounce pass, Lucas White with 2 hands.
Then Lucas White tried to avoid falling flat on his face there. If he'd have let go of that rim, that's what would have happened. So he kind of swings on a little bit, and they hit him with a technical foul, one of the most frustrating calls in the game. You see him off balance there. If he doesn't hang on to that rim, he goes flying.
Now let's see where McCoy is when he takes off. Comes over for help side defense. Maybe just a little bit of French pastry on that dunk attempt by Lucas White.
Well, you know, when you're going in there off 1 foot, your momentum is taking you in a certain way. Then you dunk the ball, so then you grab the rim, so your legs swing up under your body. And if you let go at that point, you will go face down on the ground. If you hang on, you avoid that. And the time-honored expression for that is you're protecting yourself. And usually that's allowed. I think the referee made the judgment that it wasn't protecting himself. It was you know, maybe a little bit of, I guess you could call that showing off or showboating. It's a tough break for Darren Lucas White and Augusta, but the Jaguars currently hold a 9-point lead.
With the free throw shooting contest, please welcome Sydney Armstrong. Sydney with a chance to win a free
You see back in the background the kids yelling and screaming. That's Georgia Man Up. I believe that's a 15 and under AAU team. Back there came as a unit with Coach Mondre Allen. Fans are letting the referees know what they think about this technical foul opportunity from Young Harris.
Brian Harper knocks that one down. King on the kick out. And a 3-ball knocked down by Archie.
It's a tricky balance for Augusta. They want to play zone so they don't expose Crawford out at the 3-point line, but the zone kind of plays into a 3-point shooting team's, strong point.
Miguel Arnold. Chad, you can predict them, brother.
This is the third time in 4 games that Miguel Arnold's been unconscious from deep. He made 5 in a row on the road at Young Harris a few games ago. He's made 5 in a row here today.
Collins with the answer. (36-30). Augusta with a 6-point edge. Montero trying to get back in the scoring column. Good tip by Crawford to keep it alive. To Cracknell for 3.
Troy Cracknell released that ball. It went in the hoop, and he looked over at Miguel Arnold and kind of gave him a little hand slap. I think he was kind of telling him, my bad on not hitting you. Miguel Arnold's made 5 in a row, and it was either Troy shoots this or he hits Arnold. And I think when he let it go, he probably thought, I should have thrown that to Miguel. He made it nonetheless. You see there, right after the make, he's going to look over at Miguel like, hey, my bad, man. I know you're on fire, but I can make it too. Good job by Tyshawn Crawford and Darren Lucas White to keep that ball alive. Good recognition from Tyree Myers to find the shooter. Brian Harper had a choice to make. Do I go to Cracknell or do I go to Arnold? Good choice on going to Arnold, but it's kind of a lose-lose situation when picking between those two guys. Miguel's so good coming off that screen and just releasing. Anytime the defender goes under, he's ready to shoot it. That's a great defensive possession by Troy Cracknell. He's becoming, at that 3 spot or that other wing spot, the kind of defender that Darren Lucas White has been all year. So you got Cracknell and Lucas White just being lockdown defenders on the wings. Goes a long way towards Augusta's success.
That was Jonathan King with the turnover, his 3rd of the ball game. 3-possession game. Perimeter passing. Now Myers on the strong drive. Lefty hook, no good. Rebound inside by Collins. And here comes Harper. Going right at Miguel. Shot partially blocked by Miguel Arnold. And Myers now running. Looking to see where Arnold is. As he gets to the top of the circle. Gives it to Cracknell. Over to Lucas White. Big fella wants it. Now Miguel with another launch. Front iron no good. Kept alive by Lucas White, who lays it up and down.
Darren Lucas White's the most exciting rebounder in the Peach Belt Conference. He takes your breath away with some of those rebounds in traffic.
Just his first field goal. But points is not the true measure of Darren Lucas White by any stretch of the imagination.
What a block out by both Troy Cracknell and Miguel Arnold on that play.
Now down to the low post, turn and face. Tyshawn Crawford can knock down a 12-footer, and he does there.
Real offensive explosion from Augusta today. 43 points at the under 4 timeout. Scored 92 Wednesday against Georgia College. We saw Tyshawn Crawford make that same exact shot last Saturday against UNC Pembroke. Here we see Darren Lucas White on defense where he's best. And then this is the block out. This is Miguel Arnold and Troy Cracknell. When two guys seal off like that and the ball hits the ground before it's gathered up by the defensive player executing the block out, that's a coach's dream. Speaking of a coach's dream, Darren Lucas White high above the rim at 5'11" on a good day, plays so much bigger than he measures.
Your leading scorers thus far in the ball game: Miguel Arnold with 5 threes. He's got 15. Tyshawn Crawford with 10. 6 points in the game for Troy Cracknell. Brian Harper leading the way for the team from Young Harris. He's got 8. 6 in the ball game for Jonathan King. 7 for Collins. And 8 in the ball game for Archie.
So at the 3:42 mark, kind of reminds me of when Augusta led North Georgia 38-23 with 4:21 left in the first half the other day, and North Georgia was able to go on a 16-1 run and tie the game. Will Augusta finish this half strong and maybe even put this game out of reach, or will Young Harris be able to get back into the contest? King wants a clear out. That's what Troy Cracknell would invite.
Yeah, I thought for sure the official was going to call a traveling violation on this drive. Owens.
You see him wanting to clear out. Troy Cracknell wants all of that, as the kids would say, all of that smoke. Yeah, I think he traveled as well.
Left-handed layup attempt, no good, but a whistle. And a foul committed by Augusta. That will be registered against Troy Cracknell, his second, the team's 5th.
Yeah, so they isolate. I wouldn't have predicted that. They isolate on Troy Cracknell twice in a row, get 2 fouls on him. That'll send him to the bench. I raved about his defensive prowess, and I still think he's a dynamite defensive player. So you wouldn't expect Young Harris to go to that tactic, but it worked.
So King makes the free throw. 43-31, cuts the lead to 12. And Arnold thought about another one. Lucas White. Now the big fella. Out to Myers. Dribble penetration. There he is, the big guy again. Got away with one, and he'll throw it down for 2. Nice look inside as they find number 10 on the weak side. That was Lewis, Nate Lewis, from Apopka, Florida, a freshman. His first field goal. And now 3/4 court press. There's a lob. Lucas White goes flying in the air. As his reverse move, his back to the basket was rejected, but a whistle and a foul.
I was wondering who Miguel was throwing that to, and out of nowhere came Darren Lucas White. I was wondering if maybe Tyshawn was over there on that side. He throws it high. Who would have thought that would get caught? But Darren Lucas White's the guy to do it.
Tamuz and Oz behind us as he threw that ball in the air, Chad. The fans couldn't believe he got up there and pulled that one down.
Tell you what, when it comes to excitement, Augusta couldn't have delivered a better first 17 and a half minutes of excitement to this great crowd we have here today. We've seen Tyshawn Crawford dunk the ball 3 or 4 times. We saw Darren Lucas White dunk it earlier, go high for a rebound, an alley-oop attempt. We saw Miguel Arnold make 5 straight threes. Really risen to the occasion when it comes to this homecoming crowd getting their money's worth.
Lucas White making the second. Now the pull-up. 3-point attempt, no good. Montero with the board. And Augusta up by 13 as we near the 2-minute mark. Down low, Crawford kicks it out on the wing. Montero was wide open, they didn't see him. Now Crawford gets it again, and this time it'll be an offensive foul.
Little makeup call from earlier, maybe. Great ball movement here. I thought Miguel should have pulled that one. Nice pass from Tyree Myers. Just lowered that shoulder a little too obviously. Kind of invited the call.
Harper got it in deep, and it's rejected, and they're going to call Myers for the foul.
See if Tyree hits him with the body. It sure didn't look like it on first notice. Oh my. Yeah, I guess he might have hit him with the head, on the head a little bit. You know, way back in my day, you know, you see a 5'6" guy challenge a 7-footer at the rim, gets a shot block. That would never have been a foul. Demetrius got a warning there for talking to the referees.
Brian Harper coolly buries a pair of free throws.
I think what Demetrius was mad about is that last lower the shoulder foul that Tyshawn Crawford got. He told the ref they're grabbing him.
Nice dump off. Sean Moss now in the lineup and sets up and gets an assist. So Sean Moss immediately paying dividends for the Jaguars.
I love the way Tyshawn avoided the offensive foul on that play.
Back the other way, it's Harper. Talked about their explosive offense. We've seen it exhibited, now a steal. Lead is down to 11, chance to cut it even closer. Sean Moss accepting the responsibility of guarding one of the best of the Peach Belt as well as the country. And Harper. Pull up 3. Rebound by Lucas White. He'll slow it down. Montero, Crawford with another 10-footer, and it's good. Maybe 11 feet on that one as he knocks it down.
I know who I'm going to talk to, who I'm going to talk about with Coach Demetrius at halftime. The big 7-footer, Tyshawn Crawford.
Unofficially with 16 points in the first half, including 3 big dunks for the Jaguars in this one. Foul out on the perimeter. That'll go against Sean Moss. That's the team's 8th, so 1-and-1 situation upcoming for Brian Free. Free misses the front end. Crawford with the loose ball, and he gets fouled. And that'll be the 6th for Young Harris. So Augusta will be inbounding on the end line with just under 6 seconds remaining. Miguel let it go, picks it up prematurely. Miguel, 3 seconds, 2-second pull-up jump shot, and it's too strong, and that's how the first half will come to a close. So Augusta with an offensive explosion in the first half, putting up 50 big points as they lead by 13 at the break, 50-37. What a half it was for the Augusta Jaguars. They lead the all-time series, as this is the 13th meeting in the series. Augusta with a 9-3 advantage, and the Jaguars have actually won 7 consecutive in this series as well. Many of you might remember on January the 11th, the Jaguars escaped with an 83-78 victory, a road win at the YHC Arena, as our own Chad Cook prepares for an opportunity to talk with the head coach of the Jaguars at the halftime break. Chad?
Coach, I don't know if you remember, but the game before Christmas, Tyshawn Crawford made a couple face-up jumpers. I asked you about it at halftime. You said, Merry Christmas. He just made a couple more. He's playing great.
Happy Valentine's Day? No, he made 2 tough ones. He made 3 or 4 great passes out of the post. He's rebounding the ball down there. Got Miguel a couple shots. He's playing really good. I mean, him and Miguel kind of led us. Troy didn't make anything yet, so I feel good about that. You know, when they score 90 points, they win. So they got 37, so I'm a little concerned about that. But the main thing is we got a little jump shot anxious there because they were going in. But it was a good half, and we'll see if we can guard them second.
You mentioned their offense. Our offense, we scored 51 in the second half against North Georgia, 50 here in the first half. It's really kind of starting to click, right?
The balls move pretty good. And on the term of stick, when we go inside out, it's good. Or when we come up the court and reverse the ball quickly, we have something good happen.
Good luck in the second half, Coach. Okay, Charles, back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Chad. Appreciate that. Again, the halftime score 50-37 in favor of Augusta, as this is a pivotal game in the men's bracket. As you take a look at it, it is UNC Pembroke at 14-3, Augusta 13-4. USC Aiken also 13-4, so we need this victory. Of course, Augusta 18-7 overall, but just one game out of first place in the Peach Belt Conference regular season standings. We won the conference tournament title last year to advance to the NCAAs. Lander at 12-5, right behind us. And then you've got Columbus State, North Georgia, Georgia College, Flagler, Georgia Southwestern, and this Young Harris team, along with Clayton State and Francis Marion, rounding out the Peach Belt Conference men's standings. So you look at the numbers at the end of the opening half of play. Brian Harper leads the way for the visitors, the Mountain Lions. He had 12 points in the ball game. They only credited him for 1 assist, but I think he may have had a couple more, also with 1 steal in the game. Also grabbing some help from him was Ja'Cory Archie with 8 points and 3 rebounds. He had an assist in the first half. 7 points in the game for Jonathan King, who had 1 rebound and 3 assists. He led them in assists in the opening half, and then 7 points from Christian Collins, so balanced scoring on the part of Young Harris. For Augusta, leading scorers were 2 in double figures. You had Tyshawn Crawford with 16 points, 5 rebounds, 1 block shot in that first half of play. He was 8 of 8 from the field. You had Miguel Arnold, 15 points on 5 made three-pointers, 5 of 9 from distance. All of his field goal attempts came from long range. And then helping those guys out, 6 points from Troy Cracknell, 5 each. Make that 5 points in the game for Darren Lucas White, who also had a steal and 2 assists. Tyree Myers had 4 points with 8 assists in the opening half and 2 steals. And 4 points in the game for Rafael Montero with 3 rebounds and an assist as well as a steal for the Jaguars. The Jaguars shot a tremendous 60.6% on 20 of 33 shooting from the field. The Mountain Lions shot 14 of 27. That's 51.9%. They were 4 of 12, the Mountain Lions, from long range at 33.3%, and 5 of 8 from the free throw line, 62.5%. Augusta shooting 4 of 7 from the free throw line, 57.1%, 6 of 16 from long range, 37.5%, to help that score of 50-37. Augusta led by as many as 14 in the game. Young Harris has yet to take a lead in this ball game, so we've led it throughout. And at the halftime, we have a lead of 50-37 out in front. 22 points scored in the paint for Augusta, 16 for Young Harris. 7 points for Augusta scored off of turnovers compared to just 2 for Young Harris. 10 second chance points for Augusta compared to 7 for the Mountain Lions. And Augusta with the lead at the break, 50-37. Stay tuned for an exciting second half. It's around the corner. This is Homecoming 2020. Also want to remind everybody, please make plans to join us here at the Christenberry Fieldhouse this coming Wednesday beginning at 5:30 and 7:30, as it will be an awesome opportunity for you to see 2 of the elite teams on the men's side and 2 outstanding rivals on the women's side, and a chance for the women from Augusta to have a shot at the postseason as they'll match wits and go head-to-head against arch rival USC Aiken. It should be a blast. I'm looking forward to being here with you and hope that you will be a part of the ride as well. So this concludes our halftime festivities. When we come back, it'll be the second half of this one. Augusta taking on Young Harris. You're watching exclusive coverage of Homecoming 2020 on SUV TV.
You are anything but ordinary. You have your own path and your own potential to realize. At Augusta University, the advantages created by our diversity in thought, culture, and collaboration give you and us infinite opportunity. Together, we're changing our community, our campus, and our world. We are boundless. We are Augusta University.
Tamara Brown with SUV TV at the CP3 Rising Stars campus.
SUV TV's 2019 NBA Draft Day coverage.
Anthony Edwards Collegiate Decision, presented by the Georgia Hoop Circle on SUV TV.
SUV TV brings the game to the audience.
You give a better focus on the actual game at hand. Sometimes you could tell it's just a running camera by itself sitting there, but with SUV TV, it's more of a personal experience.
Just the exposure, being able to see games that you normally wouldn't be able to see, not only here locally, but across the country.
Those angles make you pick up different things as a coach, as an evaluator. They're giving you great quality, nobody talking in the background. I think it brings basketball to the forefront.
Whether it's a family member that lives in a different state, they can watch the game, or just bringing in more coverage for these players, or if it just allows us to raise more money for something like Susan G. Komen. And so I think this event has grown because you guys have been a part of it the whole entire time.
SUV TV has given a different light to kids that don't always get the best exposure.
The commentary that goes along with the games, I think, is always interesting.
Touchdown.
Oh, yes, sir. It brings something to the table that no other streaming aspect can bring, no matter how hard they try right now.
Dayton Avian Williamson at the buzzer. That is how you get the Peachtree Corners Invitational started. And that will do it. Thanks for joining.
And welcome back inside the Christenberry Fieldhouse. An elongated halftime as the homecoming king and queen were announced. And we mentioned that there's a lot of excitement surrounding this one with Augusta and, of course, the entire city coming out to support the Jaguars, as hearing about all the great successes they've had this win streak, Chad. But today we got a chance to see them really put on an offensive showcase.
Yeah, 61% in the first half, 50 points in the half, coming off a 51-point half Wednesday night. And I think it's instructive that when I mentioned that to Coach Dick Metris in the halftime interview, he said, yeah, we're shooting well, we're playing well offensively, but they've got 37, and that worries me. And it's kind of interesting because 37, you know, that's a 74-point half. And that worries him, and that puts into focus the fact that during this seven-game winning streak, Augusta has held 6 of those opponents to 71 points or less. 4 times they've held their opponents at 65 or less. And at the same time, Augusta's leading the Peach Belt in field goal percentage and three-point field goal percentage, also leading the conference in defensive field goal percentage and defensive three-point field goal percentage. So all of that is to say that the team is clicking on both ends of the court, and when it comes to having a great offensive half here today, Dick Metris is focused on the fact that they didn't maybe have a stellar defensive half, so that the expectations are high. The team's in a great rhythm, and I expect to see them continue it on here into the second half.
Yeah, no question about it. We're looking forward to seeing what the Jaguars have in store after the elongated. And you wanted to get probably if you're a Jaguar, you wanted to get back out there on the floor as hot as they were shooting in the first half.
Well, no doubt about it. Speaking of hot shooting, Tyshawn Crawford with 16 points and 5 rebounds at the half. He is 8 for 8 from the field. Now, obviously, either 4 or 5 of those are dunks, but he finished with a touch shot in the paint where he avoided the picking up an offensive foul, and 2 12 to 15 footers facing up. You're going to see one of them here. So doing it all, just looking excellent on the offensive end of the court. Like I said, 8 for 8 for Tyshawn Crawford. I think we're going to see some of that here. We saw him make that jumper a second ago. Here he is with one of his finishes high above the rim. The team's doing a great job of finding him. Anytime the defense is out of position, it's an automatic 2 because they find him and he knows what to do with it.
Yeah, Seth McCoy was in his poster on that last one. As we're ready to begin the second half of play, thanks to our SUV TV crew, AUG B-Ball powering this event, Homecoming 2020, and it's underway with Young Harris, the Mountain Lions, with possession to open up the second half. Turnaround jump shot is knocked down. A quick up and down, Jade by number 12. That's Collins, he's got 9.
Augusta opened in the zone, and Young Harris did a good job penetrating, finding the gap in that zone, and getting a nice little look in the paint.
There's Crawford in the painted area. Contact and a foul committed.
Coach Metris wanted a foul against Rafael Montero when he tried to finish right there, and he's got a good point.
So maybe if anybody might be the worse for wear with an elongated halftime locker room, it would be the big guy.
Yeah. But he comes out and strokes a 15-footer from the foul line right after hitting a couple 15-footers at the end of the last half. Misses that one.
He was 0 for 2 in the first half. Montero and Crawford combining for that loose ball rebound. Now Cracknell looking to get in the offensive side as Crawford to the floor with it, and that's a traveling violation.
Tyshawn fell down and traveled there, but that's 3 offensive rebounds in the first 53 seconds of play here in the second half.
Tyshawn Crawford picking up a tee.
Yeah, so Crawford makes his first mistake of the day, 8 for 8 from the field. Picks up those 3 offensive rebounds at the beginning of the second half, then picks up a technical foul.
Harper at the line, and he knocks it down. Had a delay a game or bench technical in the first half. Also against Augusta, as Harper knocks down a pair, the 80% free throw shooter.
Now, I'm not sure if that kind of technical foul is recorded as a personal. Do you know? Because that would have been his second.
Yeah, I don't believe it. Well, yeah, I guess it would be. There's a steal.
What a great job on defense by Tyree Myers there, denying the ball and then coming up with the steal on the handoff.
Cracknell getting dislodged there. And a foul committed by Raul Owens. So Cracknell on the floor, along with Tyree Myers, Rafael Montero, Tyshawn Crawford, and Miguel Arnold. Crawford works down low, puts it off the glass and scores.
That was a great catch by Tyshawn Crawford. Rafael Montero led him away from the defender. He went and tracked it down, gathered himself, and finished in the paint.
19 now for Crawford. Just in that 3-2 zone.
Rafael Montero finally gets the benefit of the doubt on that charge. He's taken 3 now here today. That's the first one he's gotten credit for. Watch this pass leading Crawford to the open spot on the court. Crawford gathers it, avoids the travel, makes the shot under heavy pressure.
Just can't get around the big guy as Montero now will find Myers at the top of the circle for 3. Too strong, rebounded by Rafael. He'll back it out and reset the offense. Down low, Crawford in close. Crawford, no, he can't finish at the rim. But he'll go back to the line with an opportunity to shoot 2.
I talked to Dick Mitras before the game about the way Young Harris plays offense. I mentioned the fact that it's tough for Tyshawn Crawford to get out on these 3-point shooters, and he said, yeah, but they have to deal with him on the other end. And that's proven to be a matchup that's gone in Crawford's favor here today.
Actually, when we traveled up to their place, that was one of the thought processes as well, that they could outrun us because Tyshawn couldn't get back.
Now, the one thing he has had trouble with today is free throws. You mentioned him being up to 50% on the season. That doesn't sound impressive, but from where he was after 8 or so games, you know, maybe sub 30, if I'm not mistaken, he's really come around.
And he gets the home run roll on the second, Chad. So the broadcast is curse in reverse.
Augusta back to man here.
Now leads back to 13.
They'll make Crawford guard out of the pick and roll.
Harper launching a 3, no good. And rebounded by Crawford. Tyree Myers. Miguel. There it is, perfect pass. And lay it off the window and score for Tyshawn Crawford.
As Crawford exerts his will on the offensive end, you also have Rafael Montero hitting him in the perfect spot twice here in the second half in that high-low action. Rafael Montero is a very good passer. He puts it right in the right spot there. He's done that twice here this half.
Mentioned in the first half that Jeremy Currier is the head coach of Young Harris in his second season. Implemented that one of the top offenses in the nation last year. The team that led the nation in scoring offense, 3-pointers made, 6 other categories. He also spent 8 years as the head coach at Pfeiffer University. Got his bachelor's from Endicott College, and Pfeiffer where he received his master's. He's been standing pretty much throughout, trying to find the answer to the riddle that is, how do you beat Augusta University? Jump hook is good by Christian Collins. Collins now has 11. He joins the double-digit column, joining teammate Brian Harper. 13-point lead for the Jaguars, and now Miguel launching. Rebounded by Crawford with the two-hand slam.
What a force he's been in the paint.
24 points, Chad, and another rebound. Leads to a fast break. Miguel running. Cracknell launching. That's strong, rebounded by Montero with the finish. Just his third field goal. He's got 6. Leading scorer for the team, averaging 18 points and 8 boards. Last couple of home games, he's given weight of his offense. As Collins on the strong drive, a whistle and a foul committed. That'll lead us to a media timeout.
And that is 3 on Tyshawn Crawford. So that technical earlier did count as a personal foul. Augusta scores on 2 straight offensive rebound buckets. The first by Tyshawn Crawford that we just saw. Actually, this is a little earlier than that. The high-low from Montero to Crawford. What'd you say, 26 for him already?
24.
24 with 15 minutes to go. This is by far his most productive game of the season. He's averaging a double-double in conference play, 14.5 points, 10 rebounds. The most dominant force in the Peach Belt Conference by a long shot, in my opinion.
Please welcome Isaac Bell. Isaac's going to go out and shoot a free throw. If he makes it, he gets to beat that Jaguar basketball. Somebody might have a new sweatshirt.
Unfortunately for Augusta fans, Crawford will take to the bench for a good bit now with 15 minutes to go, 3 fouls. I don't anticipate Coach Metrics going back to him until at least under the 10-minute mark.
Daryl Denard will be our next free throw shooter in the next media timeout.
So we traveled to their place on January the 11th. Augusta with a 5-point win in that one. Big win at the YHC basketball arena. Troy Cracknell with that career-high 29 points along with 8 rebounds. Ryle Owens knocks down the shot. That's his first field goal. He's got 3 in the game. But Cracknell with that 29-point performance. Also Rafael Montero with 18 points in the game.
Expect a steady diet of Miguel Arnold and also Rafael Montero now that Crawford's out of the game.
In this series, Augusta holds a 5-2 advantage on their home floor versus the Mountain Lions. Last year's game, Chad, you might remember, was a shootout at the OK Corral. 134-93 was the final, with Augusta holding out for their 7th consecutive victory in the series.
I sure do remember 31 points from Tyvez Monroe. It was a fun day for Augusta fans.
Miguel Arnold with 6 threes in the ball game, 18 points in the contest. 63-45, 14-12 left, and Montero picking up the personal. It's the team's 5th. So Augusta quickly in foul difficulty. Sending Young Harris back in the line. They might be able to chop away. Got that deficit.
Yeah, you mentioned foul difficulty. I don't know if you noted Myers. Did you mention that? I just noticed that he's got 3 as well. So you have Crawford and Myers, Tyree Myers with 3 fouls. And I think, was that Raphael that just picked up his 2nd?
It was.
Yeah.
And a pair of free throws made by the 75% free throw shooter, Ryle Owens. Second leading scorer on the team, averaging 14 points and 4 rebounds. His forte is three-pointers, but he's not yet made one as he goes high to grab that rebound. Nice look down low. And with Tyshawn Crawford on the bench, a lot easier opportunity to score for the Mountain Lions.
Expect this ball to go in the post to Rafael Montero. Young Harris is back in a man-to-man.
Barloon asking for it. Lucas White with the pull-up jump shot. And another big rebound by Owens. Now Harper working on a 1-on-4. Finds his teammate out on the perimeter. That's Collins. Shot up attempt no good and rebounded by Augusta. Lucas White will back it up and start again.
Rafael Montero is telling Darren Lucas White to throw it to Miguel so Miguel can throw it to him. At least that's what I thought. Now he'll get his look.
And he wanted it quickly with the turnaround. Couldn't get the shot to fall.
Now, I mentioned this in the first half. When Tyshawn Crawford goes to the bench, you have the ability to force feed Rafael Montero, potential player of the year in the conference, and that's what I expect to see here. We've got a red-hot Miguel Arnold as well. But Augusta's an inside-out team, and expect to see a steady diet of Montero here.
Arnold took an extra step.
I think what he called there, Rafael was kind of getting in position. He had a foot on the baseline when Miguel hit him there.
McCoy, top of the circle, 3-ball. That's strong and rebounded by Montero. Off to Lucas White to Arnold. Driving strong to the hole, kicks it out. Darren Lucas White exploding to the hole, count it, and a foul.
What a great hesitation move by Darren there. Kind of froze the defender. We'll see, he gets the ball kicked out to him, and he hesitates right here and then explodes to the hoop. See Darren developing all the time. You know, we've seen him start to rely more on the mid-range jumper recently instead of getting all the way to the hoop. Here he makes the right decision to attack the basket.
Lucas White now with 8. Harper in the front court. Gets it back on the wing. Now up top. Owens. Owens, that's his 67th made 3 of the season. He shoots 40% from distance. And the lead is down to 14. King on the reach.
Yeah, there we see Augusta going to Montero in the post. With Miguel Arnold checking out, I think we'll see even more of that now.
Pulling up from the wing. And Rafael Montero knocking down the mid-range.
Darren Lucas White's got a big smile on his face. He's affecting the game in a lot of different ways with Tyree Myers on the bench. Darren playing that point guard position. Got an and one a second ago. Gets his team possession by throwing his body in the way of the ball handler there.
So we touched on the fact that Augusta has won 7 consecutive times in this series as we watch this highlight.
It's the kind of shot that, you know, looks easy, but, you know, an 18-footer off a screen in the corner from a post player. It's not something you see all the time. Rafael's so confident in that kind of shot because he puts so many hours into working on his game. He's become basically a legend here for his work ethic. You know, a couple weeks ago, Augusta beat Francis Marion on the road by, a large margin on a Wednesday night. And Raphael didn't have the best game. I think he was 2 for 13 from the field. The next morning, before 8 a.m. rolled around, the team got back at 1:30 a.m. on the bus, and before 8 a.m. had rolled around, Dick Mitras spotted Rafael Montero out here on the court working on his game. He really puts the time into it, and it shows, in shots like that, a little 18-footer off the screen. He hadn't had a great game here today as far as touches and opportunities, but he's ready when called upon, and we saw it right there. I think we'll see it here continuously over the next several minute stretch.
So before we went to that timeout, I mentioned that Young Harris is on a 7-game losing streak in this series. As Montero has it on the wing, finds Sean Moss with the wide open 3 opportunity, no good. And here comes Harper and company. Spacing a little bit out of whack, so they'll reset.
You mentioned that losing streak from Young Harris. They need a win here to keep their hopes alive of making it into the conference tournament. A loss disqualifies them mathematically, so this is a big game for the Lions.
Yeah, their last victory here, or last victory in the series, happened right here at Christenberry Fieldhouse, January the 18th in 2016. A 105-99 double overtime victory. You might remember that was Keyshawn Sherrill's team. He had 19 points and 7 rebounds in that ball game, but it was C.J. Wilson of Young Harris who had a career high 29 points and 7 rebounds. Marquise McKee had 22 points and 9 boards in that victory as Montero scores.
Great teamwork by Augusta. A moment ago you saw Rafael Montero hit Robert Barloon, and then here you see, watch this ball move from Cracknell to Lucas White to Montero. Coach Dick Mitras calls that the ball not sticking. When guys catch the ball and hold it, he calls that the ball sticking. It doesn't stick with these guys.
There's Tyshawn Crawford and Troy Cracknell back in the lineup for Augusta. Pump fake. And beautiful drive to the basket and a bucket. That's Nate Lewis. Averages 5 points and 3 rebounds, the freshman. Second field goal of this one, he's got 4. So an 18-point edge. Looking for more. Cracknell knocking it down from the corner.
So many weapons Augusta has. Really 6 guys that can answer the bell at any time when it comes to putting the ball in the basket on a regular basis.
Left corner 3 is good by Archie. Archie now with his third 3. He's got 11. Lee remains 18 as Montero. The iron unkind for him. Now Harper. Long range 3 into the corner, run down by Crawford. So Augusta rolling 75-57, nearing the 9-minute mark. Cracknell and Myers. Now Moss. Cracknell, pump fake. Extra pass with 5 seconds. It's Moss knocking it down. And the fans love it.
Gotta love it. That's the play of the day from Augusta. That ball moved and moved and moved until a pure shooter and Sean Moss got his hands on it wide open, made it count.
Right back the other way. There's a 3 ball by Nate Lewis. His first 3 ball. And the third made 3.
Watch this ball move from Augusta.
Yeah, thing of perfection. Myers. And Moss. And then Moss gives it up. They work it in the corner. And it's Cracknell's turn. So those guards working the perimeter passing game with the big fella inside. You got to pay attention to him, right?
Yeah, that's why the team in the last three, they're working on their third 50-point half in a row. And, you know, in that first half, we had Tyshawn Crawford score 16 points on 8 of 8 shooting. Miguel Arnold make 5 straight threes. No field goals from Troy Cracknell. No minutes from Sean Moss. Here we are in the second half, continuing to roll, get some production out of Rafael Montero. Next thing you know, back-to-back possessions, a 3 from Troy Cracknell, his first of the game. Sean Moss, soon after checking in, hits a 3 himself on the next play. So weapons galore. We saw Darren Lucas White affecting the game moments before that. The team is just, you know, you don't win 7 games in a row in the Peach Belt without playing well, and the Jags are certainly playing well.
And it also pays to be ready because your number could be called at any time.
And Sean Moss, I've admired him for a couple years now because he plays limited minutes, but you can count on him. The first shot he takes, you can count on it to go in. It's like he's already in rhythm, whether he's been playing or not. And I really admire him for that, like I said.
Well, the other thing I like about him is he doesn't immediately pull up something. He waits until he's in that rhythm before putting up the shot, as Crawford with the finish. 26 now for the big fella. As Harper comes back and answers. So Harper, who averages 18 points, 4 rebounds, and 8 assists a game. 4 here in the second half. He's got 16. And it's Miguel's turn. Arnold for 3. That's number 7. I think I got an idea who you might have, as you might have to have several special guests at the end of this one, Chad.
I think I'm working right now on this young man who buries this 3, his 7th of the game, and also Tyshawn Crawford, who last I checked is 12 for 12 from the field.
We have a media timeout. Augusta University Athletics recognizes Augusta Coca-Cola for its long-time support of the Jaguars.
So a 21-point edge for Augusta, looking at win number 8 in a row, and 8 in a row in this series as well. But more importantly, keeping the pressure on UNC Pembroke. 14-3 is their record. We came in 13-4, tied with arch rival USC Aiken, who we'll see on Wednesday.
Wow, what a game that's going to be. Like you said, tied for second right now. We currently hold the tiebreaker, but, you know, records and standings and all that can be thrown out the window Wednesday night when Aiken comes over here. I mean, it's no secret that there's no love lost between these two teams. The amount of games they have played over the years that have had national importance, regional importance, and Peach Belt Conference importance cannot be recounted easily. You know, Augusta's actually won 4 straight against Aiken, and the most dramatic one was almost exactly 1 year ago when they met in the semifinals, the second round, semifinals of the region tournament, which is the second round of the NCAA tournament. Aiken led Augusta by 21 with just under 6 minutes remaining. Augusta comes all the way back, wins in overtime to defeat their arch rival for the 3rd time in a row during that season. But like I said, you can throw all that out the window Wednesday night. This place is going to be rocking, and it's going to be a great rivalry game.
Crawford at the line. Knocked down his 3rd in 7 attempts. And make it number 4. So Tyshawn Crawford now with 28 points. We got a whistle down this end and a foul, which brings us to the Division II men's basketball rankings. From a regional perspective, Southeast region, Lincoln Memorial currently the #1 rated team. UNC Pembroke number 2. It's Queens out of North Carolina, number 3. Catawba, number 4. Augusta in at the 5th slot, followed by Lander. King out of Tennessee. South Carolina at Aiken is number 8. Southern Wesleyan number 9, and Tusculum number 10. What does that mean, Chad?
Well, the top 8 teams in that ranking, when the last game is played, the last conference tournament game is played 2 weeks from tomorrow, will go to the NCAA tournament. And, you know, you mentioned Augusta being ranked 5th, Catawba being ranked 4th. Right after those rankings came out, Catawba took a loss, and Augusta is now working on its 2nd win in a row since those rankings came out. So it's a good bet that Augusta, you know, if they continue their streak, they can move into that 4th spot, maybe even towards number 3. And the higher you can move up in the ranking, the better for all kinds of reasons. One of which is, if you go into your conference tournament and lose in the quarterfinals or the semifinals, you don't want a loss like that to knock you out of the rankings. So the higher you can get early, the further you have to fall when it comes to falling outside of that top 8 ranking.
Montero misses the front end. 85-64. Jaguars leading the Mountain Lions. Young Harris with the basketball. And it's Harper with a pull-up. Rebounded inside by Montero. He and Crawford fighting for it. Harper now 4 of 8 from the field. Jump shot put up no good. Tried to keep it alive was Crawford. Harper. Wide open at the top, didn't want it. Instead goes on the left side. And found a wide open King who misfired. Up top, it's Montero launching a 3 ball, and it's good. His first made 3 tonight on the season. 10 of 18 from distance for Rafael Montero. Chad, that is 53% prior to the shot make. Now Crawford powering in, and he goes down hard. He'll get up on his own. He didn't like being pulled to the floor. We'll get another look.
I don't blame him at all. You know, a big guy like that, he takes a beating. Guys try to hold him down from getting to the rim. And, you know, when you're up in the air like that, that's going to happen. Yeah, that's a good call by the referee. Calls that a flagrant foul. I think that's the right call. No play on the ball there. Tyshawn showed his maturity there. You know, he was obviously upset about being brought to the ground in that manner. And the young Harris player tried to help him up, which I like. You know, but in that moment, Tyshawn didn't want any piece of it, but he didn't act out. He didn't, you know, get in anybody's face or, you know, make any kind of aggressive move. He just let it be known that he didn't appreciate it and walked away from the fray.
He wanted those free throws, though, you can tell. 28 points in the game.
Oh, you think he knows he's knocking on 30's door?
Yeah, I think yeah, he definitely knows. He wants the inbound. They go to Arnold, left wing 3. There goes Crawford over the top, keeping it alive into the corner. Whose ball is it? It'll be Mountain Lion basketball with 5:35 left.
For the Jaguars, number 20, Robert Barloon.
Robert Barloon will check into the lineup for Augusta. First thing I thought of when Tyshawn Crawford hit the floor and jumped up that quickly is a big fight happening tonight, Chad.
One thing, I don't care if your name's Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder or any of these guys out here on the court, you don't want to square off against Tyshawn Crawford.
No.
Talk about wingspan and power.
Even against those big guys, he's swinging downhill. Off the inbounds feed, there's a knockdown three by Nate Lewis, the culprit of that flagrant foul just a few moments ago. So Augusta trying to seal the deal in these final 5 minutes as they get it over the top to Rafael Montero, who loses track of it. And back they come the other way. Ball tipped and deflected into the Young Harris bench. It'll be Mountain Lion basketball. As we've got a Anthony Torelli sighting. There's a three ball. Ryle Owens. That's number 68 for him on the season. And 2 here late in the ball game to cut the lead to 18. Left wing, 3. Miguel Arnold. That's number 8.
You know, right before that, as we see Darren pick up a foul, right before that play when Tyshawn got a flagrant foul against him, Miguel Arnold had shot 2 3-pointers on the same possession, missed them both, and then on the very next possession he shot it again. And I was going to say that I love the fact that he continues to shoot even when he's just missed one, and then there it pays off for him as he drills his 8th 3-pointer of the game. That's a set play. Rafael Montero set the screen for him. Miguel with that quick release and high elevation on the jump shot. It's a thing of beauty.
Free throw no good, and wrestling for the ball. Augusta pulls it out. Archie's first opportunity at the line didn't work out for him as Torelli. The crowd recognizing he's on the floor. The last time we saw Torelli in action, he went in for that slam.
He sure did.
Got a lot of people's attention.
Yeah, he sure did. That was against, I think, North Georgia. That was a heck of a move on the baseline. Torelli made a 3 on the final possession against North Georgia Wednesday. Also made one on the road against Francis Marion in the closing minutes the Wednesday before that.
Lucas White at the line. Looking for his 9th point of the ball game. 4:07 left. It looks like Augusta will eclipse 100 here this afternoon. Another substitution off the bench. Another one of the youngsters, Gabe Moeller, checking in. Moeller out of Iceland, where the Northern Lights are happening right now, Chad. Have you ever seen the Northern Lights?
I have not.
Got a coworker who actually just left Iceland and returned to work on Monday, having seen the Northern Lights. It was amazing, she said.
One day.
We have our final media timeout. Our final media.
The bad thing is it happens right around this time of year, so neither one of us will probably get to see the Northern Lights anytime soon unless it's on Google Earth. We've got a timeout on the floor. It happens with 3:52 left. And Augusta leading by 22. How have they been able to get it done?
Well, it's been a firing on all cylinders type of game. Offensively, you got Miguel Arnold just shooting Young Harris right out of his zone. Tyshawn Crawford literally not missing a field goal, which included a couple jump shots. Troy Cracknell, Sean Moss making a 3. Everything's going Augusta's way. And then you look at 70 points from Young Harris. That's a little bit more than Augusta's been giving up when you count the fact that there's 3 minutes, 52 seconds left in the game. But Young Harris plays a very fast pace. They shoot quickly, so it's really actually a very good defensive performance.
And let's talk briefly about coach's keys coming into the game and how those have played out for Augusta thus far.
Yeah, well, we just got a stat update, and Young Harris is 9 for 23 from the three. Shocking to see that Augusta's shot 9 more three-pointers than Young Harris. So if that's not defending the three-point line, I don't know what is. So they've limited the opportunities, which is literally defending the three-point line, defending home court. You know, this will be the 8th victory at home in 8 tries in conference play. Most of the games, even last week against the league leader Pembroke, a double-digit victory. Very few close games. I know Lander pushed us here. Other than that, I can't remember off the top of my head a close game here in conference play. You know, a less than double digits game. And then the last one was, defend Brian Harper. You know, remember at the beginning of the game, he scored on Darren Lucas White, very tough field goals on back-to-back possessions. And we said if he's going to be able to do that on a consistent basis, then, you know, more power to him. And we really haven't seen anything like that since from Harper, the point guard for Young Harris.
He's got his season average of 18 as Jack Johnson tried to tip in as he's off the bench for Augusta, just came up short. Now Harper gives way to teammate Owens on a whirling dervish to the hole. He goes down.
You mentioned Jack Johnson just checking in. Coach Metris told me when he talked to the team about defending Brian Harper and what one individual can do to affect a game, somehow the conversation morphed into who is the best player in the NBA. So it was interesting to get the players' input on that. He said, Dip said LeBron James. He said most of the players, or the majority of the players said LeBron James. A few guys said Kawhi Leonard. Dip and I both said that we could stomach that call, you know, if you want to say LeBron or Kawhi Leonard. And he said a couple guys said Giannis Antetokounmpo. Dip said you got to be able to make a jump shot if you're going to be the best player in the NBA. But bring all that around to Jack Johnson's choice, he was the only one that chose somebody else, and that was Luka Doncic. And, you know, I kind of chuckled at that because he's an incredible player, but, you know, maybe he could be called somebody's favorite player, but I don't know about the best player in the NBA. I'll tell you who my favorite player is. And one day might be the best player.
Zion?
That's Trae Young.
Trae Young.
The Hawks
oh, yeah,
star.
I forgot about your love for Trae Young.
Yeah.
But you love shooters, though.
I do.
And, yeah, 50-point performance is nothing to sneeze at.
That's right.
He's got to put some pounds on, I think, in order to have a shot at it. Oh, talking about having a shot at it. That is Nate Lewis with the one-hand slam. He's had a second half to remember. $14 points now, 12 of those coming in the second half. As there's another launch from Free, and Moeller with the rebound. Inside of 3 minutes left to play. As Moeller all the way to the rack, he gets it swatted into the cheerleading section. Torelli misfires, and Jack Johnson with the finish at the rim. So Johnson, the sophomore out of Ponte Vedra, Florida, knocking it down.
The foul is on Augusta's number 40, Jack Johnson. His first, it's the team's 10th foul in the second half.
Once again, I want to remind everybody to tune in about 5:25 this coming Wednesday for the big matchup. Actually, you'll be tuning in a little bit earlier, right, Chad?
Yeah, you know, we're going to have a fun pregame show. There's a show that's on SUV TV. It'll be on Sunday night, tomorrow night, called Love of the Game, a group of guys out of the Atlanta area that are basketball junkies. It's a show that talks about high school basketball in Georgia, college basketball in Georgia, focused in Georgia, but also nationwide, and just basically the culture of the game and the feel of the game. These, you know, the name of the podcast or the video podcast is Love of the Game, and Mondre Allen, the host, is here today with his with his son and his son's AAU teammates. He and Cabral Huff, the head coach of Holy Innocents, and Bryce, oh goodness, is it Bryce?
Williams.
Bryce Williams, sorry. Bryce Williams and, oh goodness. Yeah. Sorry about that, Charles. I'm drawing blanks here, but Dante Medlock, he's on it as well. So those guys will be doing like a pregame, a halftime. They're excited to see some great Peach Belt basketball, some great rivalry action.
So it'll be part of our call.
You know, and in addition to that, I want people, if there's any students, I know lots of times we get parents of players watching the webcast and things like that, but anybody who knows any students need to encourage them to come to Wednesday's game, because the first 500 students will get special T-shirts and be able to wear them and cheer the Jaguars on in that big rivalry game.
We've got a little skirmish, as a little bit of looking at each other. Up close and personal, Sean Moss got tied up in there, as we'll get a chance to take a look on our SUV TV replay.
Yeah, Sean was just trying to get a block out here, and then they just got tangled up, and we'll see the rest here. Kind of tries to grab the guy, takes him to the ground. You know, at that moment, right before that, Charles, you see this lead is now 94-81, and with a minute and 45 seconds to go, that's the kind of thing a Young Harris team can threaten to come back with the way they shoot three-pointers and push the pace. So, you know, I almost wonder if that's a situation where, you know, these guys that are on the court, they don't want to come out of this game. They don't want to, you know, be embarrassed in a way and have to be taken out of the game. And, you know, so Sean's trying extra hard to get a block out, get his team possession, and he just got a little overzealous there.
The voice you can hear, that is Clint Bryant, trying to get the officials' attention to let them know that video is available, but I think they feel like they're comfortable enough in their own call, having seen it up close and personal. From what we saw in the SUV TV replay, it looked like Sean Moss, like you said, was looking to box out and may have grabbed the player on the other side.
It's a thing you do when you're blocking out.
Yeah, trying to get the ball quickly out of the hands, and I think it's just a common foul, to be honest with you.
Augusta University's number 4, Sean Moss, a personal foul and a technical foul. Young Harris is
Sean Moss picking up a personal foul and a technical foul. And then the same thing occurring with a member of Young Harris's team. I didn't get the number on that one, Chad.
Okay, so offsetting technicals, is
right.
that what happened?
That's
okay,
correct.
That's why nobody's shooting.
So 94-81, 13-point game, 90 seconds remaining. Myers to Miguel. Cracknell had it momentarily in the hands of Myers as the shot clock winds inside of 10. On the left wing. They call him sideline out of bounds. Cracknell stepped out of bounds. They're going to try to move the ball up the floor. Driving to the basket. Lost control momentarily. Now a right wing three rattles out, rebounded by Myers. And he'll pump fake and then bring it up slowly into the front court. We got a technical foul now called against the bench of Young Harris as we get a chance to watch the replay.
Tensions are high right now. I think all we're going to see here is the referee emphatically call a technical foul. I think he's just working the official based on what happened earlier. I think maybe he thought that there should have been a technical foul on Sean Moss and not on the Young Harris play earlier. That would have given Young Harris the ball plus 2 free throws down 13. Instead, the offsetting technicals gave Augusta the ball. No free throws awarded. I think he's angry about that.
So the 80% free throw shooter, Tyree Myers, made one but missed the second. Myers unofficially with 5 points in the ball game, and doesn't look like Augusta, after all, will get to that 100-point total. Still plenty of time left, but there's a steal. Loose dribbling down the wing, Harper. And he finds the bottom. 46% three-point shooter, only his second made three of the ball game. He's got 21 points to lead his team in their attack, but it'll be too little, too late. Harper committing the foul against Tyree Myers as he brought it across. And Myers will step up to the line for some freebies. Both teams in the double bonus.
Uncharacteristic of Tyree to miss a couple from the free throw line in a row.
Nearly a steal. So Tyree Myers just picked up his fourth personal. And Nate Lewis will step back up to the line, where he's 2 of 2 on the afternoon.
Back in the game for the Jaguars, Darren Lucas White.
15 now for Lewis, 10 above his season average. And the freshman having a day here. That could be a career high, 16. Hit-ahead pass over the top. It's Miguel running it down. Throws it over the top to Lucas White, who loses control. Here they come, down by 10, 13 seconds remaining, lining up a three. It's good. Inbounds, and nearly another steal as we wind down the final 5 seconds. And Augusta will bring it across the timeline and dribble out the clock for their 8th consecutive victory in the series as well as in this regular season. Augusta super hot as they wind down the final 3 games of the regular season. They pick up a big win here this afternoon on homecoming. 2020 final score, Augusta 96, Young Harris 89. So congratulations goes out to Demetrius in his 16th season. He'll be joining Chad Cook, I'm sure, along with a cast of thousands, as there's many stars that rose above and played extremely well here on this afternoon. Homecoming activities will continue throughout, as many of the students came out to support the athletes, and I'm sure they are extremely proud to have them and this excited fan base here for this stretch run. For those of you that are alum, we heard that they are going to be making a move and having a lot of good things happen over at the Forest Hills Golf Club. So alumni activities happening over there immediately following the game. Garrett Seiler, I get a chance to see him. He's going to be making your way, I believe, into your picture here shortly. He's on the in line as our own Chad Cook has a couple of special guests. Chad, take it away.
Sean, I don't think you missed a field goal all day today. You even hit a couple 12-footers. Tell me about the game.
My coaches just told me to go in there with a level head, you know what I'm saying, be ready for Wednesday. So I went in there and I tried to do my best. You know what I'm saying, they was talking a little chippy, so I had to go out there and meet the standard.
Well, when it comes to having a level head, I was impressed by the way when they pulled you to the ground, got that flagrant foul. You obviously didn't appreciate it, but you didn't go after anybody. You weren't aggressive. What was going on in your mind as far as your responsibility to your team?
It was my teammates, you know what I'm saying? They told me to keep a level head the whole time, you know what I'm saying? When they put me to the ground, I knew they was making a frustration foul, you know what I'm saying? We talked about it after the game, and I just brushed it off.
In the first half, you lowered your shoulder one time, got called for an offensive foul. The next time that you had a chance, you didn't lower your shoulder, and you kind of finessed your way into a little jump hook. Do you remember that play, and is that something you did on purpose?
Yeah, I noticed that the ref was like, he was a primary defender, so they just told me to make sure I don't lower my shoulder. So that time I was like, I'm going to finesse him and see what I got for real down there, because I'm more than just a left-hand hook, so that's what I did.
Great game today. Now, Miguel, speaking of great games, I count that. That's the second time in a few games, the other time being against Francis Marion, where you made 5 straight threes in one half. I think you feed off of this big crowd. Remember the Emmanuel game, how well you played, and then you put on a show in front of a packed crowd here today. Do you love playing in front of a lot of people?
I definitely love playing in front of people. That brings me a lot of energy. And even my teammates, they bring me more energy, so I just come here and just go and be aggressive every time and just show out. I try to show out a little bit, so that's good.
You sure did. Now, in the second half, there was a possession where you shot one, missed it. They threw it back to you, you shot another one, missed it. And then I think on the next play, you missed another one. I love the way you kept going back to the well, and then on the play after that, you knocked down your 8th three of the game. Shoot or shoot, right?
Yes, sir. Coach Dib, everybody, including Coach Dib, they really trust me shooting the ball. So I just keep that same mindset, and I just keep shooting the ball no matter what. So that's good.
You told me a few nights ago who taught you how to shoot. Tell everybody who's watching who taught you how to shoot and what advice they gave you.
Who taught me how to shoot was my father, Horacio. He's the one who taught me how to shoot. He always told me to keep my hands open, and that's for everybody. If you see the better shooters, they either follow through every time their hands open, so just do it, I guess, yeah.
Your father's a great teacher, and we're glad that he taught you how to shoot. Guys, great job on your 8th straight victory. We'll see you Wednesday night for a huge rivalry game. It'll be fun just like today. All right, have fun, guys. Okay, now we're going to talk to Coach Dimitris. Coach, first of all, just reactions to the game.
Yeah, we played well. I tried to get some guys some minutes at the end. It didn't go well. Tell you what's kind of neat is you got Miguel's family in Puerto Rico listening to this. I don't know if he did the Spanish thing, but it is neat. And Tyshawn's mom couldn't make it today, so it's great that they got interviewed. But it's a win. I don't like closing games like that, but we played well, except for about a 5-minute stretch the last 5 minutes.
You mentioned Miguel's parents watching in Puerto Rico. He just told us who taught him how to shoot. Did you know who taught Miguel how to shoot?
Did he say his grandfather?
He said his father.
His father, okay. I saw him shoot when he came to the gym that day. Yeah, it's special for him to get a chance to, they listen to it, they watch it. When we get on the bus, I can hear Spanish being talked, so he talks to his family every time after a game. And it's great that they could watch him play. What did he have, 8 threes? I don't know what he had.
He did. He made 8 threes. It's the second time in 3 outings, or maybe 4, but Francis Marion being the other time where he made 5 straight threes in one half.
Yeah, and then we ran a little thing for him, a couple actions for him to get a shot. And Big Fella was special in the first half. He missed some free throws. It was a good team effort. Tyree had 8 assists in the first half. I don't know what he ended up with, but no, I was pleased with the fact that this team is desperate to get in the conference tournament. Number 1's a great player. We did a good job on him for the most part. But no, it's good, and obviously we have a big game Wednesday.
I noted recently that the team is leading the Peach Belt in field goal percentage and 3-point field goal percentage, and leading the Peach Belt in defensive field goal and 3-point field goal percentage. When it comes to, obviously the wins are what matter most, but when it comes to statistics that you look out for as a team, are those key?
Yeah, defensive field goal percentage definitely is 43%. First half it was a 51%. I said championship teams don't let people shoot 51% on their home floor. I don't know what we finished with. During the stretch, it was probably pretty good. That's why I got upset at the end. You want to take some pride in what you do defensively. Everybody gets in the game. So, defensive field goal percentage for us and offensive field goal percentage. And we don't shoot a lot of threes, but when we do shoot them, we want to make them.
Before I let you go, I want to just briefly look ahead towards Wednesday. Not about so much X's and O's, but Aiken, the rivalry. I told somebody recently it's basically a 25-year rivalry that has had countless games of importance, both nationally, regionally, and Peach Belt Conference-wise. Tell the folks at home, what we're up against Wednesday
Well,
night.
it's a big one. We're tied, I think, in the standings. Pembroke's got up one on us with the win column. It's a big one. A couple years ago they came in and beat us in the conference tournament when they were a 5 seed and we were a 4 seed. So we want to play well. They got a very good club. They got some very good players. Faison Brock's all-league player. Barmore, a special player. The point guard, a great game against last time. It'll be a big one. They got a good team. They got a lot of pride about it, so it'll be a great atmosphere, hopefully, in Christianberry.
Should be a lot of fans just like today. Great crowd today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great crowd. We've got student support out, and we've got, I think today, ensured us a conference tournament game at home mathematically. So we'll play the following Wednesday after senior night. We'll play semi at home.
Congratulations on your 8th straight victory. We'll see you Wednesday night. Okay, Charles, I'll send it back to you. 8 in a row for the Jaguars, looking to make it 9 Wednesday night. I hope everybody comes out and supports, and if they can, I hope you tune in on the webcast.
Thank you so much, Chad. I appreciate that. A great job by the student athletes and Coach Dip Mitris with the victory here tonight. The final score 96-89. Let's find out how they got it done in the first half. As Coach alluded to, they shot 52% from the field, 14 of 27. Young Harris shot 15 of 30 in the second half, 50%. So they finished up at 51%, 29 of 57 in that first. In the overall shooting from the field in the ball game. 4 of 12 shooting from long distance, 8 of 17 in the second half, finishing up the game 12 of 29 from long range. That's 41.4%. So that will certainly hurt our three-point shooting, field goal shooting defense, as well as field goal shooting defense inside the conference. As far as free throw shooting, they were a tremendous 19 of 23 from the line, 83%, as they knocked down 19 free throws here to keep it as close as they did. Now, on the other side, they take care of business distributing the basketball, and you can do that quite easily when you've got one of the top assist man in the nation in Brian Harper. He was held to just 6 assists in the game, finished up with 21 points on 6 of 10 shooting, 2 of 3 from long range, and 7 of 7 from the line. Harper finishing up the contest with 21 points, 6 assists, and 2 steals. Also helping him out was Ryle Owens with 19 points. He had 5 of 10 shooting, 4 of 7 from three-point range, and 5 of 6 for the line. 19 points and 3 rebounds, along with 2 assists and 2 steals. 3 more players in double figures for the visitors, including Nate Lewis, who definitely achieved some great things, especially late in the game. 16 points, finishing up 4 for 4 from the line, 2 of 2 from long range, and 5 for 5 from the field. He was on fire with 1 assist and 2 steals. 13 points for Christian Collins. He had 6 of 11 from the field, 1 of 5 from three-point land, 2 rebounds in the ball game as well. Ja'Cory Archie also in double figures with 11 points, 4 of 8 shooting, 3 of 6 from long range, and 0 for 1 from the stripe. He had 5 boards and an assist here for the 89 points scored for the visitors from Young Harris. As for Augusta, solid performance, big-time win. Tyshawn Crawford led the way with a career-high 28 points, 12 of 12 shooting from the field, 4 of 10 from the free throw line, 14 boards, a double-double, along with 1 block shot here this afternoon. Also in double figures was Miguel Arnold with 24 points on 8 of 18 shooting, 8 of 17 from three-point land. He did not go to the line. He had 2 rebounds and 2 steals in this afternoon's game. And also in double figures, 13 points for Rafael Montero, 5 below his season average, but 6 of 11 from the floor, 1 of 3 from three-point land, 0 for 1 from the free throw line. He finished up with a double-double as well, 13 points and 12 rebounds for Rafael, along with 3 assists and 1 steal for the Jaguars superstar. Other scores for the Jaguars, Tyree Myers had 6 points in the game. It was 3 points for Sean Moss, 9 in the contest for Darren Lucas White, 2 in the game for Robert Barlone, 9 for Troy Cracknell, and 2 for Jack Johnson. For the 96 points scored by Augusta, they were 36 of 69 from the field, 52.2%, 12 of 13 from three-point land, 36.4%, and 12 of 15 from the free throw line, finishing up with 48% from the line, and they'll have to clean that up in that contest upcoming. Augusta led them in paint scoring with 40 points compared to 24 for Young Harris. We trailed in points off turnovers 13-11, and in second chance opportunities, Augusta had a 15 advantage. 22-7 was the margin as Augusta prevails this afternoon, 96-89 on homecoming. And with the victory, they're now 19-7, winners of 8 straight, 14-4 in Peach Belt Conference play, and looking to rise even higher in the Southeast standings as far as the national picture is concerned, having had the team above us, Catawba, suffering a loss, and Augusta with a couple of huge wins here this week. So from our broadcast partner, Chad Cook, for Athletic Director Clint Bryant and the entire Jaguar Nation, and a special shout out to those star players and head coach Dip Mitris, and for all of us associated with SUV TV, we want to thank you for tuning in, as this has been powered by AUG B-Ball. Jaguar basketball will be back on the air this coming Wednesday, beginning about a little bit before 5 o'clock, and check your local listings for the complete details on SUV TV. Until then, good afternoon, good night, and God bless everyone.